Good evening and welcome to Cavan TV's News and Views. Well, as I said before in an earlier interview, we love our pets. But unfortunately, not everybody loves their pets, and pets sometimes can come to the wall and get very sad abuse and horrific abuse. But lucky enough, there are people out there who come to the rescue. And one such lady is in the studio this evening, and I'd like to say a big Cavan hello, she's from Cavan anyway, to Caroline McCabe. Good evening, Caroline.
Good evening, Anya. How are you?
Caroline has a little bit of laryngitis, but we'll do this. We'll get this done.
Okay.
We'll get this done. Caroline, Claws and Paws, rescue animals. It's sad to say in this day and age that there is cruelty out there, even though as a nation we love our pets. Some people love our dogs more than people sometimes, but there is a little bit of cruelty, and sometimes animals do fall between the stools, don't they?
Definitely. Unfortunately, we do see a lot of animal abuse. Not as much as we used to anymore, because people have sort of wakened up to the idea.
And of course, people can get their animals neutered, so
yes.
there's not unnecessary batches and puppies and kittens and everything.
Especially
like that.
kittens. The country is overrun with kittens at the minute. So we do actually offer to neuter people's cats for them, neuter and spay their cats, so that there are no kittens.
Your work, Paws and Claws. How did this all come about?
Just a crazy love of animals. Absolutely crazy about animals.
Since forever?
For my first rescue, I was 7 years old.
Right.
White cat. I rescued it from a horde of dogs who were attacking it. I'll never forget her. Princess was her name.
Yeah.
So that was my first one at 7 years of age. I haven't stopped since.
Mm. And so I suppose if people come along the road and a poor animal has been hit along the road, or there's a dog wandering around and nobody's caring for it, they dump them on you, do they? They bring them to you.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't consider it dumping them on, because I just don't mind. Yeah, no, they bring them to me. If I can help them, I will. That's why I've got 14 dogs at home.
Yeah. So tell me about that. So out in your own backyard.
Yeah.
You have literally turned it into a kennel.
Yes, we've had it concreted and we fenced the whole area to keep it all safe, and we've got runs in it and kennels, and they're all happy out. They don't seem to care too much.
So your idea is like, okay, if somebody does pick a poor little kitten that's been injured or lost or whatever, a dog that's just been literally, unfortunately, people do dump dogs, they bring them to you. So your work then is to build them up, nurture them, and rehome them.
Yes.
And you can see, just as we say that, some of the images coming up on screen there of little happy faces of somebody maybe finding their forever homes.
We're actually very lucky, I have to say. We're very lucky. People are so good to us that once we put them up on the Facebook page or the website, we were inundated with calls, always.
Yeah. They do go to good homes, though.
They go to good homes because I drive the country, length and breadth of the country, to do home checks.
You do a home check.
I always do home checks.
Very
and
good.
We do that, and then we do meet and greets a couple of times. And as I said to one lady yesterday, God love her, if the dog doesn't like the person, the dog's not going to the person.
Right, yeah.
So
that's good to know that.
Dogs have good instincts about people.
So you have a wonderful story of Billy.
Oh, Billy. Billy's my favourite. He's a dote. Billy is an American staffy.
Oh, I think a picture of him flashes on the screen.
Yeah. He actually was in the dog pound in Drogheda. And Drogheda Animal Rescue had it up on their Facebook page. And I was following his story for a couple of weeks, and then we realised that he was actually going to be put to sleep on the Friday. So the Friday morning we drove up to Drogheda and picked him up and rescued him and brought him down. And I had him at my house, and he was such a beautiful dog. Oh my God. Absolute little dote. So gentle, so kind. All he wanted was love and affection.
What was his background?
He was a stray. He was 11 months old, and he was found as a stray by the dog warden in Drogheda. Somebody just dumped him because he got too big. Now, he was a very big dog, big muscular dog. But I tried to train him, but I wasn't making any headway with him. So I went down to my local Pet Shop Boys in Cavan, and asked them to recommend a trainer. And then they recommended Connect Dog Training in Kilshandra.
It's good to know these things. Yeah, Connect Dog Training,
Yeah, and so I got in contact with them and asked them to keep him as a residential training for 6 weeks, and they did. And my friend Sarah and I were actually saving up our money to go to Lanzarote. We used that money to pay for his training.
No. So where is Billy now?
Billy has found a beautiful, wonderful home with a lovely family.
Forever home.
He is in Tullamore now.
In Tullamore?
Yeah, and he's got an amazing family.
Yeah.
And he actually met them. Connect Dog Training people, Mantis and Tanya, they're friends of them. They're actually adopted him. So he's a great.
I just want to touch on the very sensitive subject of, like, we saw it during COVID as well, where people decided, I need a dog because I have to walk, I have to get out and do things. And a lot of people took on pets. And then they were at home when they were with their pet. And then when they had to go back to work, and from home they had to go back to work. That led to difficulties for pets. The pets were suffering, separation anxiety. People decided they didn't want their pets anymore. There was crazy stuff went on then.
It did. They're called the COVID puppies. We actually rescued a COVID puppy. He was 2 years old. Obviously not going to name him, but he was 2 years old at the time, and he'd been bought as a puppy at the beginning of COVID. And when we got him, he was antisocial, completely antisocial, because he'd never mixed with anybody. And then when the parents came back to work,
with people who don't know their specific breed of a dog, and people said, let's get a dog. You can't do that. You have to look into it and suss it out.
You really need to do your research.
You have to do your research, and it's a big family decision.
It is.
But we saw that during COVID that didn't happen. The price of dogs went sky high. There was even rumours of dogs being stolen.
Dogs were being stolen.
Yeah.
Were being stolen.
Yeah, they were marking fences and saying, there's a dog in this house, let's get him.
Were being stolen and been sold.
Didn't it? So these little COVID puppies now, really, a lot of them suffered
Totally.
the fallout of that.
Separation anxiety. They were completely antisocial. The one guy that we got had a total fear of men. He was aggressive to men, but obviously we've trained him, and he's doing really well, and he loves everybody now because he's been socialised with animals and humans.
Is it easing off now?
Yeah,
the COVID thing. The
COVID puppies situation is, but because of the cost of living, for a start. At the minute, we're finding a lot of dogs being abandoned.
Literally abandoned.
A lot of dogs.
Not even just giving them away, but
abandoned them.
Okay, so let's talk about, you talk about your work. You have a shop in town as well to raise funds. Now, how do you raise funds to do this? Because obviously you can't.
Well, we're not government funded. We are members of the Cat and Dog Protection Association in Dublin, CDPA. And through them, then our Paws and Claws is like a subsidiary of them.
So you get grants or what?
No, we don't. We do all of our own fundraising. We have pub quizzes, raffles. We have a dog show all coming on in Ballinya on Friday.
But to get back, you are not funded by anybody else, only fundraising.
Yeah, and the work in the shop. We have a charity shop down in Thomas Street.
As we know, if you go to a vet, if a dog has been hit with a car or anything, like, a veterinary bill can be quite a hefty one.
We actually rescued a little terrier, Jack Russell, recently. She had been hit by a car, and she had broken her hip, and she'd broken her tibia and fibia, and her hip was dislocated. And we found out through the microchip, and thankfully she was microchipped, her owner was, but there was a family situation there, and the dog was surrendered to us. So it was either we took care of the dog or she was going to be put to sleep. So obviously we are a no-kill shelter, absolutely no-kill. So our vets in Arva, and Tycusker vets, they're amazing vets. And
I know them well.
They actually looked up where we could get the surgery done, because it was like she had to get pins and plates put into her little leg, and she's only tiny. So we went to wonderful vets up in Navan, and she took care of it. Wait till I tell you. No, she's been rehomed. One of the vet nurses actually fell in love with her and wanted her for her mother. So that's where she is now. She's living in Navan.
That's a lovely story.
Yeah.
Now, just one other little thing I want to touch on. Being a dog lover myself, just don't go out and buy a puppy. Don't buy a puppy for Christmas. Don't buy a puppy on a whim. You have to do your research, know the breed, know what that breed requires. You have to know a little bit of training as well, how to train them in the house, and how to socialise a dog as well. These are all big things, because if you don't, you're going to have problems with
a lot of problems.
A lot of problems.
The biggest thing that people need to know when they're getting an animal is you need to have patience. Patience. It takes patience to train an animal, because they're not going to get it right the first or second or third time.
No.
You have to keep at it.
And you have to be consistent as well. If you're not going to let the dog up on that chair, don't let him up on it today and expect him to get up, to get up on it tomorrow. And he has
consistency.
So let's talk about your fundraiser. You're having one in Ballinya on what
Saturday.
date? Saturday, this Saturday
21st,
coming,
yeah.
the 21st, out in Ballinya. It's a great place for fundraisers
It
out
is,
there.
it
The
is.
Ballinyas are good. So what's going to go on, Caroline?
Well, we have a bucket collection. That's going to be from 10 in the morning. And then I can't remember the exact times. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's from 2 o'clock. We have face painting and balloons, chips, and we have tarot readings. We have a great girl doing tarot readings for us. And we also have a dog show.
Yeah. So for the dog show, you want all shapes and sizes and breeds
Every dog.
and manners and any
Yes.
kind of a dog, any kind of a pooch at all.
Anything at all.
That's a
Heinz
pet.
57s.
On a lead.
On a lead. Totally on a lead. Every dog who comes has to be on a lead. For safety reasons, obviously.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone getting bitten.
So like, you've got social media page out there, Paws and
We've
Claws.
Paws and Claws, yeah.
So
and we
anybody
have a
there wants to
website.
find out about you, the work you do, or wants information, go on Facebook, Paws and Claws.
Definitely.
And your number's up there.
It is, yes. My number's there. And my partner, Geraldine, she's my partner in the charity, her number's up there as well.
Yeah.
So
would you advocate, so if somebody does find a poor dog that's wandering around and he's going to get killed on the road and they lift him and they bring him to you, is that what you want people to do, or is there any better system? Like, what does someone do if they find a dog like that?
Well, that's the thing. What do you do? I mean, obviously, you want the dog to be safe.
Yeah.
You want the animal. Could be a
He's going to
cat,
get
could be a
killed on
dog,
the
could be
road,
anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yes, if you can at all, take it home and then contact me and we'll sort something out.
Yeah, and that's why as well, I think every dog should have a medal on him with a phone number.
At least a
on it.
microchip with up-to-date details.
Yeah, yeah. Or his medal with his name, a phone number, if you can, get a phone number in the dog and ring the person and say,
Definitely.
ring the owner and say, I found your dog,
Keep your details up to date
Yeah.
on the animal, on the microchip registration even.
And one last thing, training of dogs.
Mm-hmm.
A puppy is a blank canvas, and that dog is going to be as cute or as stupid or as mad as you train him.
Of course. Of course. The animals turn out the way their trainer shows them.
So when you see a crazy dog straining on a lead, not being able to pass a human or another dog, that's his human's fault.
It's the human's fault.
That
The problem always is not on the collar end of the lead, it's on the top of the lead.
Yeah.
That's what the problems
So
are.
if you do if somebody does, this is a daft question, I'm asking for a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody does have a crazy dog with peculiar habits and all that, is there, like you did mention somebody, you can
Oh
train a
God,
dog.
yeah, of course.
Like
Any
who?
dog is trainable.
Who?
Any dog is trainable. Who I use and who I will always use now from now on are Connect Dog Training in Kilshandra, Mantis and Tanya. Absolutely amazing people. Mantis met Billy, the American staffy, and within 2 minutes he had Billy under control. I had him for weeks before that.
Amazing.
I mean 2 minutes. And it was like a love story between the two of them. Mantis absolutely adored Billy and Billy adored him. So it was just brilliant with them.
Okay, so let's recap. You've got a fundraiser in Ballinya on Saturday, a great day for all, with tarot
Great day
reading,
for
face
all.
painting, and bring all the pooches and all the
yeah,
pets.
we've raffles
It's going to be
and
safe,
all
raffles
sorts.
and all sorts of things. Hopefully the weather's good. It's not going to be like it's like tonight and on Ballinya. And you'd like to say again that all the money that's raised goes straight into
Every penny goes to
rescue
animal
and
care.
goes to animal care. That is the point you want to make here.
Every penny that we make goes towards feeding animals, vet bills, building kennels, whatever it takes for the animals.
Yeah.
Every penny.
So I'm going to throw you under the bus now, Caroline. I'm going to give you the
gosh.
camera there, and you're going to tell Pete, the folk out there, like, to how to look after their pet, to mind their pet. That the unconditional love you get from that pet is worth every hassle.
It's worth everything.
You can tell the folk.
It
out
is
there.
absolutely worth everything. I mean, dogs and cats give their whole lives to us. So the least we can do is give them love and care and attention and excellent care, food. It doesn't have to be the most expensive food, just as long as they're getting fed and have shelter.
And love.
Oh, definitely. I give so much love. So much love.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you, Caroline, for the great work you do, for picking up the pieces of poor animals that have been abandoned and not looked after, for doing that. Thank you. And remember, the unconditional love you get from a pet is the best ever. They can't say it in words, but they do it in deeds, don't
And
they?
they show you.
and they show you.
Definitely.
So there you have it, folks. If you're around next Saturday, head out to Ballinya and County Cavan. And in the great big street there in Ballinya, there is Paws and Claws are having a dog show day. And prizes, competitions, lots of prizes, face paintings, and lots of competitions for the dogs.
Yes.
And it's a chance to show off your dog to everybody else. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching us on Cavan TV's News and Views.